So if you've been training Jiu-Jitsu for a little while and you've noticed that you need to be able to produce a lot of squeezing force and lock things in really tight, this is going to be the video for you. There's a number of strategies that we can use to improve that sort of thing in the gym, and a number of the strategies that we take here at Dark Horse, that's what we're going to run through today. Broadly speaking, I think there's three kind of main ways that we want to look at improving that squeeze. One of the positions that we really like, and we can kind of do all of these exercises in the rack here beside me, is we like to get us into a Zercher position, and then there's two different movements that we like to do in that position, which we're going to show now. So in the first one here, we can see that in the Zercher march, we're keeping a really tight squeeze position on the bar as we cycle left to right through our legs. There's lots going on here and it's not necessarily immediately apparent upon watching it, but we're cycling through a lot of really nice single leg work as a lot of really interesting stability demand while keeping a really tight load through the musculature that we're more than likely going to use to squeeze in Jiu-Jitsu. It is not an exact replica, but it is certainly a very close starting point that we can take in the gym in order to get that musculature aware of producing a lot of force, having to be fatigue resistant, and having to have endurance qualities as well. So alongside the Zercher march, we can take another Zercher position, and we'll take a look here at the Zercher reverse lunge. So with the Zercher reverse lunge, we're still holding the bar in the same position, albeit it's usually not going to be as heavy as we could make a Zercher march. However, what this is going to be really nice for, especially if you do a lot of no-gi and you do a lot of wrestling, is it's going to be really nice for being able to cycle through these single leg positions that we see here in the movement. When we cycle through these movements, we go through a really nice pattern akin to single legs in wrestling, and we're also just in a stance that's going to involve a lot of the same musculature. Moving on from the two Zercher positions and moving on to another position that we can just do here in the rack, we look at doing an inverted row in the isometric position. So doing the inverted row in the isometric position is really nice because it lets us produce a really high force component in the movement, as well as a lot of the specific musculature, again similar to the Zercher position, being involved. Similar to the Zercher position, but a little bit different in the way that it's a row, so it's not going to be a squeeze with the upper arms. The isometric position, really good, because more than likely when we go to produce force in Jiu-Jitsu, we're going to be isometrically squeezing and producing that force for a long period of time. So these three exercises are a really nice way to get an introduction to that in the gym, and it gives you nice different options that you can integrate into your training. There's a squat there, there's a march there, and there's a row there. So you should be able to find some places in your training week where these fit in nicely. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like, comment and subscribe, do all the usual YouTube things. It just really helps us punch out more content like this that you want to see, and it really helps the channel out. So thanks so much for watching.